Hello everybody, Tommyruin here, and with the Ascension Softcore server just around the corner, there is going to be so many people leveling up through the low levels to get to level 60. And I've made a few videos before about leveling builds and the most efficient way of leveling up in Project Ascension. And today I'm going to be bringing you a new level 1 to 20 build guide that can be extrapolated forwards so that you can use this build throughout the leveling. But I'm going to focus today on the lowbie stuff. For levels 1 to 20, maybe even up to 30 you can use it. But this is a low level build guide for Project Ascension. This build guide is split into two. We've got 1 to 10 and then 10 to 20, and this is because, as you may be aware, spell resets before level 10 are completely free. You don't use up any tokens or gold, and we're going to be using that to our advantage to get the perfect build when we hit level 10. Before level 10, we're just going to be picking a group of spells that are very efficient and very good for leveling up to level 10, where we will then start moulding our build into something very overpowered. So the level 1 to 10 build is very simple. At level 2, you're going to pick up Summon Imp. At level 4, you're going to pick up Sinister Strike. At level 6, you're going to pick up Rock Biter Weapon. At level 7, you're going to pick up Dual Wield in the General tab, which is below the Protection Warrior tab. At level 9, you're going to pick up Rejuvenation from the Restoration Druid tree. And this is just a basic build that will get you to level 10 pretty quick. The Imp will do a lot of your work. But what you want to do is get to level 9 and have enough experience through quest hand-ins that you'll hit level 10. I'll show you what I mean in the video. You'll want to be very close to level 10 and have, say, 1 or 2 quests that when you hand them in, you will hit level 10. So you don't have to do any more fighting before you hit level 10. And this is because when you're under level 10, you can reset your abilities for free. So when you're out questing and you're making up your builds in Project Ascension before level 10, you can change your abilities however you want. And we're going to be using this to our advantage, because when you're done with all the killing, you can go back to town, reset your spells so you have no spells in your on your character, and you can go and hand in those quests, and you won't have used up any of your ability resets when you hit level 10. Because when you hit level 10 and you start resetting your abilities, you have 3 free resets, which after you use those, you then have to pay in gold. So we want to minimize the amount of resets which you have to use, and this is one way of doing that. You save yourself resetting at level 10, and you can then start building towards the OP build, which I'll talk about in a minute. Okay, so we're now level 10 and we haven't spent a single one of our reset tokens, which is great. And we have a load of ability essences which we can spend before we get to... And we have a load of ability essences which we can spend. And we're going to spend these a lot differently now, because we now have access to Tame Beast. So what we're going to pick Auto Shot from the Marksmanship Hunter, Tame Beast from the Beastmaster Hunter, and Revive Pet from the Beastmaster Hunter. Revive Pet costs 1 ability essence, and not only does it revive the pet, but it also acts as a cool pet, so we don't have to take cool pet just yet. The only downside is the fact that it has a very high mana cost, so if you lose your pet and you get into combat and you need to revive your pet and you don't have enough mana, for example, then you won't actually be able to cool your pet. So that's just a little warning there, but I think when you're lower down in the levels you won't have such a problem. So Revive Pet will do for your cooling pet and your reviving of the pet. We also want to take Dual Wield again, which also costs 1 ability essence, and that's from the General tab. And we want to take Rock Biter Weapon from the Enhancement Shaman tab, and Aspect of the Hawk from the Beastmaster Hunter tab. And you can probably see what we're trying to do here. We're creating a hunter build that you would find on a normal retail hunter, but we have some very significant differences. One being the fact that we now have weapon enhancements, and these weapon enhancements will provide us with some massive attack power. And I'm talking some serious attack power. We're going to be so high in attack power that the mobs will just melt in front of you, and I'll show that in just a second. But attack power stacking is our main thing, so for this build we're going to put all of our points into agility, because unfortunately strength doesn't convert to ranged attack power, so we're going to be putting it into agility, so we still get a bit of attack power and we also get ranged attack power, as most of our damage is going to be done by hunter weapon shots. At level 12 we're going to pick up Hunter's Mark from the Marksmanship Hunter, Level 14 we're going to pick up Sinister Strike, and this is because sometimes your pet doesn't hold the aggro very well and you have to do some melee damage. Well, we've got a high enough attack power, and if you have 2 good melee weapons which each have Rock Biter on, you should have no problems killing any mob which you come in contact with if you have to go into melee, for example. We also have Blessing of Might at level 16, just another attack power boost, and just basically means more basic damage. At level 18 I decided to put Regrowth into the build. Normally, because you have a pet out, you don't really need to use your heals, but it's always nice to have one just in case, and I think Regrowth is probably the best leveling heal. And at level 19 I decided to pick Cool Pet because sometimes Revive Pet isn't as reliable as you'd like, and Cool Pet is always a good one to take. And that's all I've got for the abilities for this build so far. As I said at the beginning, this build will work if you extrapolate it forward and you just pick up more abilities that will flesh it out a little bit. But your main source of damage is coming from Auto Shot, and the ability which they give you called Quick Shot. So you're doing most of your damage from auto shots, and most of the time they hit for a lot. So there's nothing to worry about in terms of active abilities. Your auto shots will do the magic for you. In terms of talents, at level 10 you're going to pick up the Fell Synergy talent from the Demonology Warlock tree. And Fell Synergy is chosen because it's used to heal your pet, and it does this on a percentage of the damage that you deal. So for the rank 1 you get 25% of the damage you deal is converted into pet healing, which is very nice just for a little bit of sustain on your pet. Normally they heal up pretty quick out of combat anyway, but it's always nice to have that little bit of survivability on your pet as you are leveling up. Level 11 you're going to put the second rank into Fell Synergy, and then levels 12 to 16 you're going to put Improved Aspect of the Hawk. You're going to get that leveled up to level 5, and that will give you a 10% haste buff when you sometimes use your auto shot in Aspect of the Hawk, and that's a great damage bonus. It really does a lot of damage, so it's definitely worth picking up that talent. Levels 17 to 19 we're going to be picking up the Improved Hunter's Mark, because this will increase the ranged attack power that you get from your Hunter's Mark, and it will also reduce the mana cost down to 0, so you don't have to spend any mana when you're using your Hunter's Mark, which is a nice quality of life thing, but it's mainly about the attack power which we get from it. And then at level 20 I picked Focus Fire from the Beastmaster Hunter tree. It's a 1% damage bonus to you and your pet, which is nice. There will be a Google Doc attached to this video which will have all the talents and abilities which you need to take for this build split into 2, and it will hopefully be very easy to read and easy to follow so that you can get this going as soon as possible. But that's all from me, guys. I hope you enjoy leveling up on the Softcore server and eventually when the server goes live. Thank you very much for watching, and check out some of my other videos on the channel if you're looking for Project Ascension stuff. I've got loads of stuff in the backlog of builds, but thanks very much for watching, guys. Hit subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you all very soon.